welcome to another edition here of Tigers Soccer here on the Urbana Radio Network. Here with Michael Monreal here at Blackman Field on a Tuesday night for another edition of Tigers Soccer between the Urbana Tigers and the Bloomington Raiders. And Michael, I know this is your first ever broadcast, so let's give it up for him. So, what are you looking for in this soccer match?
A lot of passing, and hopefully a win for the Tigers. Just come out with a W.
Yep, and this is a very decorated Urbana Tigers soccer team program. One could argue the most winningest program here at Urbana. As we get off to a quick start here. Both of these teams are a member of the Big 12 Conference, so this is a conference matchup here tonight. Urbana coming in with a record of 4-2, and Bloomington coming in with a record of 3-4-1. Here in soccer, that one is a tie. You can have ties in soccer, if you were unaware of that.
I will say, it is a little odd not seeing Coach Blackman on the sidelines anymore.
Yes, and Michael brings up a good point. This is our first broadcast of the new season of soccer, and this is the first broadcast without a familiar face. Coach Randy Blackman on the sideline, who was the Tigers head coach for 30-plus years, and he is no longer. He retired last year, has the field named after him, and he was a great guy to lead this soccer team, and he will forever be remembered here at Urbana.
Oh, definitely. A legend. I mean, he coached wrestling, one of the best wrestling coaches we've had, and he coached softball for a while as well. Never played soccer or softball, but coached it amazingly.
Right, exactly. He's one of the, as we get almost a shot attempt on goal here. The first opening minutes, and you hit it right on the spot. Coach Blackman, you know, no matter the sport, he's just a great leader. He'll get whoever's on his team ready to play, and they play their hardest, and that's how you're successful.
I mean, he was all around a great guy. I mean, with me wrestling, he'd sit down when I'd have a class with him, and he'd go through my matches. I mean, he was just all around a great guy, and I think Urbana's really going to miss having a guy like him around.
And as we mentioned, Coach Blackman, his son is an assistant coach for this Tigers soccer team. Adam Blackman, he's an assistant who helps out on the occasion. But the new head coach for the Tigers is James Barkley, first-year coach. He has a son on the team, varsity. Noah Barkley, freshman. So maybe look for an appearance for him. This Tigers team, this 2018 Tigers team is youthful. A lot of youth on this team. More than usual. Last year was led by the stellar senior class, led by News Gazette Player of the Year Bennett Anderson. Led Tigers to a sectional championship appearance last year, but ultimately fell to Springfield before reaching state.
You know, and that was definitely tough. I would have, along with the rest of Urbana, I feel would have really loved to see Coach Blackman go out on top, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, that would have been a great way to storybook ending to his career, but all in all, still he had a great career and it was a great last season. I know I attended more soccer games than I've ever been to in the past just because of the hype. I mean, it's great. I mean, at Urbana, you know, some of the programs here are, you know, trying to get back to winning ways, and it's nice. It's refreshing to have a team so consistent like the soccer program.
Right. Just like ever since I've been here, you know, when I'm playing football, we're usually losing. We've picked it up more in the last few years. When I'm wrestling, we give up too many forfeits. But soccer's always been the most consistent sport. And I had a cousin who was a captain my freshman year. So I came to a decent amount of games my freshman year, and then last year I came to about 2 or 3.
As the kick into the box goes out of bounds, intended for Roman Miniev. And before fans, this is Michael's first broadcasting. I want to give a little background on Michael. He's also a new member, just like Dylan Patel, who was on our last football broadcast of the journalism class, and that's how we get our guys to help out with these broadcasts. And he's a member of our journalism team, the sports broadcasting group. And he's excited to be here. He's an athlete himself. He plays football, as he mentioned, and he wrestles. So another two-sport athlete like myself. We're excited to have him on board, and I'm sure Michael would appreciate your comments if you would like to hit the comment button or send a request for Michael to be removed. No, just kidding. But
hey, I wouldn't blame you. I'd want to remove me too.
We're all fun and games up here. As I want to mention for the soccer team, the players to look out for, Roman Miniev, he leads the team in goals. Had another 2-goal scoring outing last game out against Peoria Manual. An 8-1 win for the Tigers. Peoria Manual not known for soccer, much less not known for many sports, but
more so basketball school.
Yeah. But Tigers enter here on a one-game winning streak. And the Bloomington comes in on a 2-game winning streak, last time out beating Metamora 4-2. And the news for the Tigers soccer program, if you were in Morton over the weekend and expecting to see some Tigers soccer, you would have been disappointed. Tigers soccer annual soccer tournament in Morton was canceled due to weather, inclement rain we had over the weekend. Put a little sourness on our weekend, but rain's always good, you know.
Oh yeah, rain is fun.
Everybody loves rain. But yeah, that tournament was canceled and took out about 4 games the Tigers soccer program usually gets in during the season. So, you know, we'll have to focus back on the conference games, and hopefully they pick up a few more W's. With a long way to go in the conference season, as that's the most grueling part of the season. You get through your summer workouts to prepare for this.
Oh, obviously. I mean, the summer is hands down the hardest with any sport. If you have to go through summer workouts, I mean, I can't speak for soccer, but I'd always see them out here in the mornings at the same time as us, and, you know, they were just running all morning. And, I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Exactly. Soccer is lots of running involved. Got to be in tip-top shape, as I'm sure hopefully many of our players are, but I'm sure they are. As we get a kick into the box, and it'll be knocked out by an Urbana player, number 7. Miguel Limas. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm known for butchering names, and
early apology in case I butcher any names as well.
Football games, we are known for getting the wrong names and or numbers because, you know, Max Preps is not a great help.
No,
just put it out there. It's nobody updates their Max Preps.
It says I play guard and linebacker.
One of my biggest pet peeves. Nobody updates their Max Preps.
It says I play guard and linebacker. I've literally never played either of those positions.
They need to do something about it, Michael.
I know.
Anyway, Urbana retains possession after the goal kick.
You know, as I said earlier, a lot of passing.
Yes, lots of passing, lots of dribbling. And a nice over-the-top pass, lead pass, and he takes it, gets it over to, and it'll be switching back to the Miguel Limas. Taishiro Wilson back to the Miguel Limas. Here comes the, no shot, as it'll be deflected out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick taken by MJ, Michael John Lorenus Leach. Take the corner kick. And big storyline for this Tigers program. Not only did we lose our stellar senior class led by the likes of Bennett Anderson, Magnus Parente, as the quick into the box is deflected. Seydoux. Shot is no good. A deflection out of bounds. It'll be another corner. The senior class, Magnus Parente, Bennett Anderson, Artem, Burnett, you know, all of them. You know, besides the loss of them, we also lost our top junior scorer, Pablo Diaz, who transferred over to Central.
Really?
And Central is hot start. They're 9-1 on the season, so expect that. And I heard from Carlos, the manager of the Urbana Tigers soccer program, that there's a big matchup next week, Urbana versus Central. Lots of headlines. Of course, Urbana 4-2, you know, having a good start to the season. Central was perhaps the hottest team in the area at 9-1. And they looked unbeatable at the Urbana annual tournament as they won the tournament. Urbana placing 5th. So that should be an interesting game next week.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just all around, that doesn't so much surprise me, especially knowing Pablo was there because he was just great.
Yeah, I mean he was a foundational piece, starter since sophomore year at least.
I believe freshman year.
Freshman year he also played varsity a little bit. But yeah, he was a foundational piece, and with a significant coach like Coach Blackman retiring, that forces some players to change their minds, and he decided to leave. So as the kick goes into the box, and Antonio Rodriguez will pick it up and roll it back out to Sam Ross.
Which, I mean, I can't even fully blame him. I don't know if Coach Treberis had retired last year for any weird reason. I couldn't say I would have for sure wrestled.
Yes, coaching changes do cause people to change their minds, as that's evident by Pablo. But I think the new coaching staff's done a decent job so far. I mean, I talked to the soccer players. Some have had to adjust a little bit to the new culture, new coach. But overall, I mean, he's came in and he's won 4-2 record. I mean, he's can't argue with that. I mean, winning record is always great. 4-2 is spectacular. So looks to me like he's doing his best and he's doing his job. So these players keep playing hard for him. Be surprised by what you can accomplish.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like for this senior class, it's definitely going to be the biggest adjustment for them because they're so used to Coach Blackman and his ways that, a lot of them, they may not like this new coaching staff, but just got to try to stick it out.
It's all about adjustment. Got to be able to adjust. And that kick will go into the street and into a person's yard. Nice.
Thankfully, that missed my car.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the rarest things here at the soccer field. We're so close to the street and to not opposing houses across the street that the occasional ball will go into the yard, and you wake up the next morning, oh, there's a soccer ball in my yard. What should I do? Wonder where that came from. Well, you live across the field from a soccer field, so you live across the street from a soccer field, so that explains that. Yeah, we've had the occasional, soccer ball go over, hit a car. It's quite entertaining.
I went to a couple softball games last year with my buddy Jesse. I can't tell you how many balls got hit into the parking lot.
Yes, I mean, softball especially. I mean, that's really close to the parking lot. I mean,
everybody's scared their car is going to get hit.
You couldn't pay me $50 to park my car near the softball field.
And Jesse'd park his car really close every time. I tell him he was out of his mind.
Yes, it sounds like something a person out of their mind would do. Ball goes out of bounds as Dan Likiko throws the ball in. Controlled by Michael Lorenus Leach. Roman Miniev deflected, and it'll be a goal kick. Soccer is one of those sports that if you're not really, into it, like you don't watch it like the English Premier League, every Saturday morning.
Right.
You're not going to be too thrilled. I mean, soccer, you either like it or you don't. And
right.
Especially here in America, where soccer, let's face it, it's not one of the most popular sports. The fact that our World Cup team lost to Trinidad and Tobago, states that soccer is not very popular.
Right.
Compared to American football and basketball.
Which, I mean, and you got plenty of other sports like that. I mean, definitely you'd have to throw hockey in that category. I mean, I love it, but I know there's a lot of people who they could care less about it.
And the pass goes to Bloomington, and that'll be offside. Back to Urbana. And as I was saying, you either really love soccer or you really, are kind of bored by it. But you know what? To all those people who feel bored by soccer, maybe you should just watch it for a change, instead of, oh my God, it's soccer, they're just passing the ball. You gotta know what to look for. There's certain players that play the game very well.
Right.
Dribbling and passing is a skill in soccer that not many can do. It's just like in baseball, being able to catch and field a ground ball. Some people do it exceptionally well, some people don't.
Oh, obviously. And I mean, and baseball is definitely another one of those sports. You either love baseball or you flat out hate it.
Right.
Which, I mean, I can watch pretty much any Cubs game But after that, it does get a little monotonous.
That'll be a foul on Dan Lakiko as Bloomington will get a free kick. As we come to just under 26 minutes left to go in this first half. Soccer again, let's remind these folks that soccer here at the high school level is 40 minutes, 2 halves, which make 80 minutes. Real pro soccer is 45 minutes, 2 halves, which makes 90 minutes. Of course, extra time will be granted if the score is tied in pro soccer, not here at the high school level. If the score is tied at the end of the game, it will remain a tie, and it will be called a draw.
I believe you said it was Bloomington already has a draw in their record.
Yes, I did say that, and I was curious as to, why. I think Urbana has a draw as well, but they lost in PKs, so it's counted as a loss. I don't know how you determine what game, if there's a game you just leave it as a tie, and what game, you do PKs.
Right.
That would be a question I would like to get answered. I mean, why is one game you end in PKs and the other, you just leave it as a draw? Should be one or the other. I could get, like, playoffs. Obviously, you got to, do some penalty kicks, but regular season, it's a different story.
I know, and that's always, in any sport, I've always found that a little bit frustrating. Because, I mean, nobody's really satisfied with the tie.
Tyshiro Wilson, caught by the goalkeeper for Kevin Melchor for Bloomington. It's a save. Up to this point, we have had 2 shots on goal by Urbana, none for Bloomington. And the score is still 0-0. Seydu passes to Miguel Limas. Passes it stolen and controlled by Bloomington. And Seydu will recover it back in the Tigers' portion of the field. Kick it up to Tyshiro Wilson. Makes a move, and it'll be
out of bounds.
Tigers' ball. Tigers' possession.
Oh.
Excuse me. So we're not playing football. I'll also like to mention, this is not the only sporting event going on here at the Urbana block. This is this big block of Urbana. You got the middle school, the high school. Lots of sporting events can go on at one time. I'd like to mention there's a volleyball game going inside right now, varsity, against Peoria Manual. Hoping for good things from the volleyball team. And there's also a middle school baseball game. Last time I checked before I left school, there was a game, so hopefully maybe that's still going on. And then there was a middle school softball game. So quite busy around these parts. As we got a couple of high school events, a couple of middle school events, pick and choose.
You got options. It's nice.
Exactly. And another
And
ball.
another ball.
Oh, off the fence, almost goes into the street. And it'll be a corner kick.
I'll be honest, I kind of wanted it to go in the street.
Right? Who doesn't want to see that? It's more entertaining that way. That way you get to go watch the ball boy run out on the street and go get it. It's great. And it'll go back to Bloomington. But our colleague Stephen Thompson, he was questioned, we asked him, to help out, and, knowing Stephen, I'm sure some of you might know, sometimes he can be a little bit unreliable, as he is nowhere to be seen. Claims he had something else to do, but we all know where he is. He's at the volleyball game.
As well as your buddy Dylan Patel.
Dylan Patel, yeah, nowhere to be found. He was also, as number 15 for Bloomington, is going to get the ball. And
that's a goal for
It'll
Bloomington.
be a goal for Bloomington. As Bloomington takes a 1-0 lead, the goal by number 15, Murdy Ilonga.
Oh, he didn't slide. Most soccer players slide after they score. One thing that I've been curious about with this soccer team is, does playing on a turf field for soccer as opposed to grass really make much of a difference? I can speak from experience in football. It does. It feels much better.
I would probably have to say yes. I'm not a soccer player, but I would have to say it does feel probably a bit different. Grass is probably a little more bumpy. turf's very smooth. And, that was one of the issues with Central and Centennial's field, last couple of years. Their field's known to be bumpy.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're in goal and, you get a shot that, it's not going to be the same on turf field. It's going to bump a little bit. As Murdy Ilonga gets the ball again, and he's streaking down the field. He'll have another opportunity for a shot on goal. He takes it, cross, and that's another goal. As Bloomington quickly out to a 2-0 lead. As the assist from Murdy Ilonga with a goal scored by number 20, Andres Mayo. And it's 2-0 Bloomington. As we barely got to talk about the first goal, now there's two. Murdy Ilonga assisting, Murdy Ilonga scoring. It's 2-0. As Antonio Rodriguez, frankly, had no shot on the first one. Second one, not really much of a shot. Not much defense on the back end to help. A couple of good passes by Bloomington. And they're up 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's definitely one of the positions that you got to have a short-term memory. So hopefully he can keep that out of his mind and keep his head up the rest of the game and not let that get to him too much.
It's too early for Urbana to quit now. I mean, two's a lot in soccer, but it's early. High school soccer, it's not like pro. Anything can happen. As you can see, they just scored 2 goals in about 3 minutes.
Right.
In just 2 minutes, give or take. So it's definitely possible. And got to keep calm and keep positive, and that's one thing that definitely be missed by Coach Blackman. Nothing against Coach Barkley, but Coach Blackman was great at motivating his players. That was one of his skill traits. He was great at that. As Michael Arenas Leach takes the ball, shot on goal, deflected, but a nice try by Michael John as he gets the ball into the box and with a shot, just deflected, and it'll be Urbana with the throw-in.
But I've always viewed being a goalie as it's kind of like being a pitcher. You got to have a short-term memory.
Right. I would agree. That's a great comparison. That's a connection between two sports right there. You get a fist bump for that one. Good job. Bloomington will throw the ball in. 2-0 here, Bloomington. Just under 20 minutes to go here in the first half. And it'll be a goal, and Rodriguez will kick it off, hoping for Urbana an attack right here. Looking to get something going. Had a couple of shots on goal, not much to say for it. As they're down 2-0. By the way, I'd like to mention that the JV, previous to this game, won 6-1. So good job by them. Now they got to cheer on the varsity, who's down 2-0. Encourage them, get back in the game. Make this interesting.
JV, I mean, in any sport, it always seems to be like the highest scoring. There's not much defense played.
Skill level's just a bit down, but I know back when I was on JV, we took it very seriously.
Oh yeah.
I mean, JV. You don't just play around. We took it very seriously. I mean, a win or a loss determines how much you're running at the next practice. And let me tell you, a win equals not much running, and that makes everybody happy. Loss, might as well just hit the line. Don't even question it. As Bloomington gets it back in the box, and it'll be sniffed out by Urbana. But back to Bloomington. Another kick into the box. Back to Murdy Ilonga. That'll be offsides. That's one of the penalties I learned quickly in soccer, that when they whistle it and it's to a player who seems like he's around a bunch of other jerseys of the other team, that means offsides. So just a little tidbit there for you.
I had my my teammate Mike Mboyo give me a little rundown of soccer in my 7th hour. Didn't do too well, but he tried.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the first person I'd ask for soccer advice, but you know what?
We didn't have
you tried. You tried your best. You're doing a great job.
Yeah. We didn't have any soccer players in my 7th hour civics class, so I just thought, hey, maybe Michael knows.
We don't expect professionals here. I mean, I, for the one time, did this my first time, and let's be honest. My first time, any of you all know that, it was not great. My voice was very screechy. I was very loud. And even up to last year. You know, I tell people, do not rewatch last year's Central Urbana football game. Don't do it. It's some of the worst broadcasting ever. Never watch that game. It should have been deleted, but it was such a good game we had to keep it.
Oh,
Just mute it. Put it on mute. I'm warning you.
That was a tough game last year.
And you could speak from experience. I mean,
Oh.
that was a great game. I mean, I know you guys lost and everything, but that had to feel good. I mean, in that game like that, I mean,
I'll be honest with you, it didn't. I mean, that was probably, when it comes to the sport of football, the worst pain I have ever felt. Like, I'm not a very emotional person. I walked out of that locker room in tears. That was probably the toughest game I've ever been a part of.
now let me ask you a question. Was it the fact that it was the rival and you guys lost, or was it the fact that it was so close and you guys were so close to winning?
Definitely a little bit of both. I think it was more so of the fact that we went into halftime against our biggest rival, who I'd like to point out, you know, my freshman year, that was my first ever win. We beat Central my freshman year on the JV team, and it was great. And sophomore year, I mean, before Coach Walker got there, we got destroyed by them, and it felt horrible. And I was like, you know what? Next year it's got to be a different outcome. I can't lose to Central, and that, I think, also played a big factor in my wrestling against them, because sophomore year I won Twin City, and the only reason I didn't wrestle Twin City this last year was because I couldn't make weight. I've never lost to a kid from Central in wrestling.
Thank you for that, bit of information, Michael. I sense you feel very strongly about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to know. We know you. Not many people around here like Central, and we know you're one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I, on the other hand, have never beaten Central Centennial, except in baseball. Basketball, never beaten them. Freshman, JV, varsity, never beat them. Hopefully this is the year that changes.
Hey, I feel it coming, man. I feel this is the year you beat Central and Centennial.
Thank you, man. And I really believe that, too, as we're going to get a free kick from number 10, and it's deflected by Bloomington. I hope. Yes, it's deflected by Bloomington. It'll be a free kick for Urbana. Number 10.
Jose
Ambrosio with the free kick off Bloomington. It'll be a corner. Can't see who's taking the corner. I am blocked by the building.
Yeah, that's a little rough, Makes it hard to see, but
yeah,
what are you going to do?
Right. And the corner is unsuccessful as Bloomington takes control and kicks it out of bounds, and the coach saves it from going onto the street.
Oh, come on, coach.
Gosh darn it.
Make it more interesting. Well, that was closer to my car, so maybe I'm a little happy you didn't.
And that one goes onto the street and into the lawn across the street.
I'd love to wake up to an IHSA soccer ball in my yard.
Who wouldn't? Roman Miniev passes across the way to Jose Ambrosio, who takes it, and almost an attempt at a through pass, unsuccessful. And here we go with it. Murdy Ilonga back down the field. I think I've called his name more than once, and I'm being sarcastic. And the shot deflected by Antonio Rodriguez, a great save. And that'll go out of bounds for a Bloomington free kick, corner kick. Nice job by Antonio Rodriguez. Great shot by Murdy Ilonga, off balance. But a nice play by Antonio Rodriguez on goal. Bloomington will take the corner. Number 9, Ali Al-Shaba will take the corner.
And Miller, coming back to baseball with you guys beating, you said it was Centennial last year?
Yes, yep.
One of my best friends, Dan Wachtel, was actually a member of that team, and the excitement I saw from him after that game, I mean, you could tell it had been a long time coming.
As Roman streaking down the middle of the field, back to possession of Urbana. And booted down the field by Bloomington. Just about 12 minutes to go here in this first half. Bloomington 2, Urbana 0. As Dan Lakiko battles for the ball, kicks it back to
Urbana.
Michael John. Takes control. Looking to push through as it goes to Roman in the middle, and he's got some space to work with. He's got some room to operate. Pass to Jose Ambrosio down the sideline. Jose will stop, put on the brakes, and he will lose the ball, but it goes back to Urbana. 13. Back to Sam. Not Sam Ross. I don't have numbers for Urbana, so
I don't either.
I'm just not going to say that person's name. And back to Roman, back to Seydoux. And Bloomington, control. Out on Bloomington. The intensity's picking up here in the past few minutes. Urbana trying to get a scoring opportunity as Seydoux is down on the field, and he is in some pain.
Ooh.
Hopefully this is not a serious injury. As the trainer, Miss Megan, comes out onto the field, and I'm sure Michael, playing football, I'm sure you've seen her a couple of times.
Oh yeah, she's great to work with. I mean, any little thing, she'll look at it. You know, I've had since mid-junior year a problem where I have a stinger in my shoulder. Gets, you know, something bends it the wrong way, it's gonna hurt for a minute, but it'll go away. She has me on band workouts, you know, just making sure I'm all right.
Seydoux gets up and he gingerly walks off the field.
Glad to see him up.
Glad to see him. He's a big part of the defense back there. As he gets up the field, he's in some pain. Hopefully he feels better and he can return to the competition, to the match. Soccer term right there, match. It's not a game.
It's a match.
It's a match.
Got to be careful with that, Miller. All them soccer fans will come after you.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, it's happened before. I mean, didn't hear the end of it from the soccer players last year after I mispronounced a couple of names. Still haven't heard the end of it. Hopefully this makes up for it. You know, it's probably going to be my last high school soccer broadcast, and, you know, gotta say, it's getting a little emotional, you know. Senior year, it's a first of many lasts. You know, last football game was the first football game. So, you know, it's been a long road. I mean, not too emotional for soccer. I've only done one other soccer broadcast. But still, gotta love a good soccer match here at Blackman Field on a weekday night. Just like this one, Tuesday. Nice calm, a little bit of a breeze. Sunny. No clouds in the sky. Perfect setting for a soccer
Oh yeah, I mean it's a
soccer
great
match.
weather. Especially just getting out of practice. I mean, this is great. Not too hot.
I'm sure it's feeling especially good for you since
Oh,
as I walked out, let me tell you guys, I walked up here and the football team's running, you know, and me, you know, having experienced a lot of running over the years, you know, I'm not going to say it's funny, but you know, it's good to see other teams running, and because nobody runs as much as we do, let's be honest.
Oh no.
The basketball team by far runs the most out of any program.
And I mean, it may sound crazy, but I've done 10 times more running and wrestling than I have in football. I mean, that's the sport where if you're not in shape, it's going to be exposed more than anything.
Wrestling, I feel like, is like that sport where you condition to make, because so many people join the wrestling team. As the kick goes into the box and it's deflected out by Bloomington. Wrestling's that sport where, you know, you get so many people to join the team because there's no cuts, right? Just like football.
Yep.
But the first couple of weeks I hear, the conditioning's like that to weed out the ones
Oh yeah,
who really don't want to be there.
Coach Treberis is great about that. We've all the guys that have been there a long time know that the first week it's rough. But, you know, my freshman year it was miserable. My sophomore year it was a lot easier. And then even last year, I mean, it's gotten to the point where the first practice, like going into my sophomore year, I was dreading that first practice because I knew what was coming. I don't think I've ever been last year. I don't think I was ever more excited to walk into a practice than first practice of wrestling season my junior year. because I knew it was just going to be easier.
As Urbana's had a couple of opportunities here on goal, unsuccessful here in the past minute or so down in the box, and they'll get another attempt with a throw-in.
You know, and one of the guys I wrestle with a lot, I mean, he played soccer as a freshman, our two-time state champion, Luke Luffman.
Yeah, Luke, one of my best friends, and the shot on goal is wide right.
Which, I mean,
number 13. Probably don't have a number for him. No, I do. Jesus de la Cruz. Shot goes wide right.
And I mean, Luke's just all around. He's a great guy.
I mean, such a great athlete. I mean, he's gonna be, his name's forever gonna be etched in history here at Urbana High School. Winning 2 state championships, most likely 3. Don't want to jinx it, but most likely 3. Let's keep it real here.
Which, I mean, that first practice sophomore year when Luke pulls me aside, he says, "Hey, me and AJ we don't gel right in practice. I want to wrestle you," and it changed me.
That's a huge thing. I mean, that's for a state champ to ask somebody to wrestle. I mean, that's like, you know, the best pitcher on the team asking you to play catch.
Right.
As Bloomington takes it down the sideline, number 20, and it'll be kicked out by Memphis Wilson. Bloomington looking to make a last push here with 8 minutes left to go in the first half. They're looking to make a last push. Maybe to tack on another goal.
I just realized we do have a soccer player in my class I could have asked about. Memphis Wilson.
Wow, Michael. Great job using your resources. As number 17, Johan Patino streaks down the sideline. He'll be bumped and the ball taken from him by Jesus de la Cruz. Now, I would like to, you know, recap this story. The last time I did a soccer broadcast, which is the last soccer broadcast against Normal West, you know, ended in a little bit of controversy. Playing Normal West, game comes down to the last couple seconds, and we won the game, but you know, it comes down to a last shot with a couple seconds left down by the box, and a Normal West player gets knocked down. Normal West thinks they've drawn a foul. No foul call. Coach is screaming mad. You can hear him from the press box, and anybody that's been to Blackman Field knows the press box is a great deal away from the bench.
Oh,
and
definitely.
I tell you, he was in the middle of the field yelling in the ref's ear about that last no call.
Which, I mean,
and Urbana caught a break, let me tell you.
I can definitely relate to hearing coaches yell. I mean, I've heard, I was standing on the sideline during our game against Danville High School. I could hear their other coach just chewing them out. Oh, that was close.
And a save by the Bloomington goalkeeper as it almost was deflected off a Bloomington player and went into the goal.
Nice heads-up play by the goalie.
Nice save by the goalie. And I'd just like one more thing, you know, 10 more seconds in that game, and Normal West is probably going to tie it. It's going to be a tie. But since there was no foul called, Urbana went on to win, and it was a great soccer match. One that I'll remember for a while. As Urbana takes control. And the pass down the middle to number 7, Miguel Limas, and he runs out of room as the goalie steps in to take the ball. And he'll kick it away for a punt. Goal kick? Punt? Don't know. Going to go with goal kick. No, we're going to go with punt. As Ty Wilson.
Had that just been up a little bit more, I think that would have been a goal. Had he not been able to get to it, I think we would have scored on that.
Be kicked out by Roman. And we'll get a whole bunch of subs here for Bloomington. 7 subs in total. We'll come in for Bloomington here with 5 minutes left to go. Give the starters a little break right before the half.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
Maybe some starters coming back in.
You have to. I mean, soccer's just all around an exhausting sport.
There's no doubt about that. I will not argue that. And if you want to, you can come at us. Hashtag we want to argue.
Oh, I love arguing.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we're journalists. I mean, come on. We like arguing. As Bloomington pass. And a questionable foul called by the ref as Murdy Ilonga tripped up, and the foul will be called. Bloomington awarded a free kick as he not tripped. He might have had the ball streaking down the sideline and could have made something of that, but result of trip.
I think that was kind of a bad call right there. I think
I didn't see much either, but
yeah.
A ref calls what a ref calls.
And, you know, you may not always agree with it. It's definitely, I'll be the first person to admit, you know, wrestling, I get along with the refs very well. Football, not so much. I tend to get a little more hot-tempered with the refs. But the refs also tend to make some worse calls in football.
Seydoux passes over to Jesus de la Cruz, back to Seydoux. As they look to make another push. Seydoux down the sideline. Seydoux's one big guy, I tell you. He's a lot bigger than anybody else out there, except for maybe the Bloomington goalie.
I mean, that guy, if he wanted, probably could have played football as well.
As we get a substitution
For Jose.
looks like Samuel Rumney coming in for Jose Ambrosio.
I believe his father works at the middle school.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I had him as an English teacher in my 8th grade
Just
year.
going to ask, did you most likely had him as a teacher?
Yep.
As Bloomington with the ball in the box, a shot just wide left. Great chance for Bloomington right there. Luckily for the Tigers, shot wide left. Nice behind the back dribble to the shot with the left foot. Just wide left, and I tell you, just wide left. Score remains 2-0. Break for the Tigers and Antonio Rodriguez right there.
Also,
all scoring opportunities by Bloomington thus far have been with minimal defense. They've had a lot of opportunities, one-on-one, one-on-two. They've capitalized, which is why the score is 2-0.
You know, I believe if we're going into soccer terms, it'd be 2-0.
Yes, you are right. You get another fist bump.
Wanted to save you from the angry soccer fan.
2-0. Excuse me. As Dan Lakiko takes control of the ball out on Bloomington. And Urbana will make the throw-in with 1:50 left to go in this first half. Counting down the minutes.
So,
Seconds.
How long are the half times in soccer, Miller?
I believe the half
broadcasted.
times in soccer are 15, maybe 10 minutes.
Are we broadcasting the half?
You know what? I'm not sure how to really stop the broadcast. You know, people, I don't sound too professional, but I'm not good with technology, so don't judge me. But for our producer, Jason Liggett, who's, the always reliable Mr. Jason, led this UPTV broadcasting coverage here at Urbana for many, many years. He does a great job, but if he does not return, we might be broadcasting halftime.
All right.
So if he does not return, we would definitely be broadcasting halftime because I'm not accidentally deleting this broadcast.
Yeah,
that'd be bad.
I don't think Mr. Fano would appreciate that too much.
Ms. Stefano, our journalism teacher. The one and only Ms. Tufano.
Great teacher.
As the ball missed by Seydoux goes to Murdy Ilonga, but he botched it. So Roman taking it down. Michael John still has control of the ball. Back over to the right side to Ty. Back into the middle to Sam Rumney. Back to Ty. Kick into the middle. Off Bloomington. Back to Miguel Limas. The shot. Deflected off of Bloomington, and it'll be a corner kick. As they have 15 seconds remaining to get this corner kick off. This could be huge. Urbana's got to hustle down there. He's got to kick it. 10. Less than 10. Over to number 3. Stopped by the Bloomington goalkeeper, and that'll be the half.
Yep, that's half. And, Miller, as you were saying earlier when we were talking about Steven being unreliable, I believe I saw him down there just a second ago.
You know what? That will be our halftime mission to go confront Mr. Steven, but as we will have the 10-minute halftime break, Bloomington leads 2-0 here at half. Michael, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think just all around they need to generate more offense, which it's hard. Scoring in soccer is very hard. But, I mean, obviously, if they're going to get back into it, they're going to need 2 goals and a third one to win.
So what do the Tigers need to do differently here in the second half to make a run at this and tie this game up and maybe win it?
I'd say try to get a little bit more quality shots. A lot of their shots have seemed very contested. Try pass more, find an open man. Just like the Spurs. Pass, find the open man, get the
Another
score.
interesting analogy. Gotta say, he's full of them tonight. But hopefully you come back to join us here on the second half.
Oh, of course.
After these 10 minutes. And, well, I know you're coming back. you have to. But stay tuned. We might be staying on here for the time being. I mean, there is a start-stop button on here, but I don't know if I have the guts to press it.
And it's Coach Walker. I see my head football coach along with assistant coach Jalen Wilson walking over there.
So I don't know if I have the guts to press it. I mean, I wish I could ask the audience if I should. Because, this is usually our break time. And we value our break time.
I think if you do, we'd be all right. I think we can start it back up.
You know what? We're going to take a risk here. And we're going to press the button. 2-0. Bloomington over the Tigers. We'll be back in 8 minutes for the second half. Welcome back to the second half of Tigers soccer here at Blackman Field, not McKinley Field. Thanks, already messing it up. Miller Calhoun, joined by Michael Monreal. Jason Liggett has left us, stranded, but we're doing a pretty good job, I think.
Sorry if the camera moves a little slow. I'm not used to this.
Yeah, Michael is first time on the camera and first time broadcaster, so he's getting a lot of firsts tonight.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wish I had joined sooner.
Exactly. As the first opening kickoff goes to Urbana. This is not football again, but again, don't know soccer terms, so we're going to leave it at that. As Bloomington will fight for the possession, controlled by Urbana. Bloomington is leading 2-0. Couple of goal by
number 15.
Murdy Ilonga, and an assist by Murdy Ilonga with a goal by Andres Mayo. Gotta admit, that's got to be pretty cool to have a condiment as your last name.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody likes mayo.
I could go without it.
But back to the soccer. Murdy Ilonga takes control of the ball and kicked out by Sam Ross.
Looks like
back into the box.
Antonio Rodriguez back in at goalie after Johnny Lujano came in, gave him a little bit of a rest.
Jose Ambrosio down the sideline and out of bounds. As I mentioned, this is the time of year to get into soccer. Big games coming up next week against Central for the soccer team. So, a lot of games left, but especially you're going to want to catch that game if you're anywhere near the area. You're going to want to catch that game against Central. Big game. Marked it on my calendar. Too bad we can't broadcast it, but
are you guys,
big game nonetheless.
Are you guys broadcasting the Urbana versus Centennial homecoming game?
I'm glad that you asked, Michael. We are. Of course, we would never miss a homecoming game, but I'm looking forward to that especially. That's what I'm really looking forward to after Urbana's last game against home football game against Danville, where we lost by a point.
That was another rough loss.
I'm especially looking forward to this game against Centennial.
It's a little sad that you guys won't be able to come broadcast Central.
Yes, it is. I try to make it. We usually don't really do. We've done one crosstown rivalry game. We did one when you guys played Central a few years ago. But other than that, we usually don't. As Michael John takes control, pass to Roman.
Oh.
Deflected.
And, I mean, that goalie for Bloomington, that's a big boy. But
Yeah,
he can move.
Yeah, he's good size. Roman had a great opportunity, but blocked. A good play by the Bloomington defender. Michael John into the box. Miguel Limas for Urbana controls, and stolen by Bloomington over to Murdy Ilonga. And Bloomington controls the ball.
And
Now that you ask about the schedule, I should mention our upcoming broadcasts. Next broadcast is the 27th.
ooh.
And that'll be a foul on number 14 of Bloomington. Simon Fields committed the foul on Jose Ambrosio. Next broadcast is the 27th, home volleyball game. Not sure who that's against, but it doesn't matter. You should still tune in.
I believe I'm also broadcasting that game as well.
I believe you are. I'm not sure if I will be broadcasting, but you will definitely be there.
What time is it starting?
6 o'clock. I believe that might. No, that's not quite senior night. We're not until October yet.
That's not a Friday, right?
Thursday.
Okay, good.
And speaking of that, the following day, that Friday, we are broadcasting the homecoming football game against crosstown rival Centennial.
Also, for those
7 p.m.
who do not know, when Urbana plays, right now they're playing Bloomington. When the Urbana football team plays Bloomington, this game will be held at Memorial Field over on campus.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. Memorial Stadium. That's in a couple of weeks.
Really looking forward to that. I mean,
That is not this week, but next week. So circle that on your calendars if you can head over to that. That's the first time we've played at Memorial Stadium, regular season game. Should be good.
should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
And then we have another football broadcast, senior night, against Normal West. And that's pretty much it for this broadcasting schedule. I mean, there's not much to it. Real thin this year because somebody wants to go out of town a lot. But you know what? We're working with what we got, and we're making the most of it.
You know what? I say we just live stream what we can.
You know what? Facebook Live always works, so I have to figure out how to do that. And I'm like a old grandparent when it comes to technology, so I'm not very.
We set up our fantasy league pretty well.
I did set up our fantasy league pretty well. As the journalism class, this is irrelevant. So if you want to tune out for this, you can. We have a fantasy league. Michael's team name is Team Michael.
No, I changed the Americans.
Or that, and he and one of our other classmates, Spencer, tied.
Yeah,
Michael was pretty frustrated about that.
No,
but,
Spencer was frustrated. I thought it was hilarious. I'm in two leagues. My other team is just the Goats because I didn't have much time to think of a name before the draft. And we had just got Khalil Mack on that day, so I was very happy as I am a Chicago Bears fan. And I somehow managed to beat my dad, who's the defending champ, in my first game.
all good right there.
Thank the Lord for the Jets.
Yes. As Michael John takes control of the ball up the field, and he gets the ball back, looking to push it into the box to try and score a goal for Urbana as Miguel Limas has the ball. He'll pass it back out to Dan Lakiko, who will kick it over to Seydu, who's back in from getting injured in the first half. That's good to see.
Glad to see him back out there.
He looked, and he's dribbling through
wow. Go. Oh, no.
as Seydu dribbles all the way through the Bloomington Raiders defense into the goal box, and this will be a penalty kick as they call foul within the box, and we're going to get a PK. Golden opportunity for the Tigers to score first goal, and Seydu is really in pain this time. He's down again.
And here comes Miss Megan.
Miss Megan returns for the second time as she jogs in.
I believe she does basketball for you guys as well, right?
Yes, she does.
She does wrestling for us. Great trainer, as I said earlier.
As he is not getting up this time as he is on the ground in some pain.
I know. with football, it's always kind of a respect factor. If it's your team or the other team, we knee when a player goes down.
Yes. And the Tigers team was kneeing in the first half when he got hurt, as he'll make his way up. And he's going to walk over to the nearest sideline. If I could tell, it looked like his hamstring.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like she was stretching out his hamstring. Maybe caught a cramp, maybe pulled something.
For anyone
Hopefully not.
wondering where that actually came from, back in the old days, players would pray for the other people that went down.
Good tidbit. As Jose Ambrosio will take the PK. This is a big moment in this game. If he can knock this in, that will be huge for the Tigers. Down 2. PK is necessary right here if they want to get back in this game. As the referee explains the rules, here goes Jose. Here comes the free kick, and it's in.
Goal!
Goal by Jose Ambrosio.
And
he
just
cuts
like that, the Tigers right back in it.
Just like that. Cuts the lead in half. It's 2-1. Big play by Seydoux. He's on the bench in some pain, but he created that play. He created that goal-scoring opportunity for Jose, and it's 2-1 with 33-34 left to go in this game, in this match. Excuse me. Memphis stops the ball. Over to Dan Lukiko. Over to Ty Wilson. Dribbles around Bloomington. But that was a huge play by Seydoux and a good job by Jose to convert. So that might just be what the Tigers need to get some momentum back on their side, get back in this thing.
I feel like that'll definitely lead to what I spoke on at the half, creating more offense is definitely what they needed. And I think that'll give them a bit of a confidence boost now, and maybe it'll put Bloomington on their heels.
As the kick goes all the way into the box, deflected out by Sam Ross with the head. And it'll be out of bounds. Goal kick for Urbana. As I think I might have just seen Randy Blackman, Coach Blackman, go into the soccer version of the press box. Maybe we can steal him over here. If I could get a high five, that would suffice. But if we could get him on this mic,
oh yeah,
that would be great.
Great to have an Urbana legend like that talking.
He probably won't want to because he probably won't want to climb up the steps, but it's worth a shot. Ty Wilson, and the pass goes to nobody as it'll roll on out of bounds, and a goal kick for Bloomington.
Urbana regains possession.
Roman Miniev, and the pass is deflected. Back to Dan Lukiko. Ty Wilson back down the middle. On the attack. Pass is going to be out of bounds to Jose.
And that will go back to Bloomington.
Goal kick for Bloomington upcoming. I feel like we've said that a couple of times. A lot of back and forth action here in this second half. Lead
Definitely,
cut to 2-1.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot more than in the first, at least for Urbana. Kind of a slow start for him.
Intensity's picked up a lot as Urbana now realizes that they have a chance to get back in this game.
And even just right there, for anyone that saw it, Miguel, I mean, just that hustle to try to get to him, that was incredible.
Hustle's going to be a big part of these last 30 minutes 30 minutes left. Bloomington takes the free kick. Go down to
Number 15.
Murdy Longo.
Had a pretty good game for himself so far.
Yes, he has. As he dribbles backwards, Bloomington retains possession. As they're playing a little bit of keep away.
I think they're just trying to, it's like a football strategy, like when you just run the ball when you got a big lead. It's just trying to chew clock. Even when you don't have that big of a lead, just try to get some of the clock down, give them less time to do anything.
Although 1 goal is, I would say, more of a lead than, probably equivalent to about maybe a 10, 14-point lead in football.
Yeah.
Because 1 goal in soccer is huge.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's a lot easier to score with football because you can have a receiver burst through and, you know, make a big play.
As that'll be a foul on number 7, Miguel Limas. Number 25, Zane Thomas draws the foul. You know, I mentioned that Tigers are a young team this year. Bloomington seems to be a young team as well. They have a number of freshmen on their varsity roster, a couple of sophomores, a lot of seniors, good mix. Both teams are pretty youthful.
Oh, yeah.
Good quality to have.
Yeah,
Get that experience on the varsity level.
And, I mean, not only that, but, I mean, the good seniors out there, you know.
And that'll be a goal. Bloomington, 3-1 lead. As it'll go to the left corner, and a nice shot by Bloomington past Antonio Rodriguez for a 3-1 Bloomington lead. And just like that, lead is back to 2.
But, hey, I mean, anything can happen.
That's right. But they've got to make a move now. 1 goal was a decent deficit, back to 2, and we're back to where we started at 2-0.
As there's a substitution for the Tigers, it is
Memphis Wilson back in for Sam Ross. Tigers pass it around, and it'll be out of bounds. Bloomington back down the attack. Murdy Ilonga. And a touch pass. Bit out of the reach of the other Bloomington player. And Antonio Rodriguez will hand it off to Seydu, who's back in the game again after getting hurt for a second time. Back to Miguel Limas. Back to Ty Wilson at the midfield. Dribbles, passes to Limas.
You know, and back to when we said earlier when we saw Coach Blackman coming. I mean,
this could be dangerous.
It's even great to see him just coming back and watching his guys.
Yeah, I mean, he could have totally called it quits. You know, I'm staying away from the program, but he's still helping. As Hales Ambrosio down the sideline, and that'll be offside. Good idea by the Tigers, just a bit ahead of the other players for an offside. But that's what you have to do if you're the Tigers. You gotta stay aggressive. Roman, Miniev down the field. Pass just out of the reach of Limas. And Bloomington will recover. Sub for Urbana. Jonathan Delarue will come back into the game.
You know, and I mean, this is really, I know it may sound a little weird considering there's still a good amount of time left. If the Tigers don't score soon, I mean, it's not looking great for them if they can't get a score here soon.
Yeah, they gotta get some opportunities toward the goal here. Struggling a little bit to create some opportunities. They've had some though. Bloomington's just been much more efficient. Is the ball out of bounds. Good hustle by Michael John to try and save it, but it'll be out of bounds. Goal kick for Bloomington.
And Urbana's, it's up in the air. It's looking like Urbana will get it back. And no. Never mind, they will.
Roman controls possession to Delarue. Back to Limas. Takes a shot at the goal. On target, but right at the goalie. Down to his knees. Makes the catch. And he'll kick it away.
Which, I mean, I remember my freshman year, the varsity's kicker was actually one of our senior soccer players.
Walker?
No, for...
I believe his name was Walker.
Oh, no, Walter.
Walter
Dunstan.
Walter.
Great kicker.
That's something the football team is missing this year. Have Stephen Thompson, our colleague, but he does a good job, but, you know, still like to have somebody who's more experienced.
Yeah, which, I mean, the way they found out he could kick was crazy. They were messing around in practice. I mean, for one, found out he was left-footed. And for two, found out he could kick.
Just so happened to work out perfectly. Coach Blackman gave me a look. Anyway. Side out for Bloomington. Nope, that's volleyball. Throw-in goes out of bounds. Goal kick for Urbana.
So then, Miller, I'm wondering to ask you then, if that volleyball game comes up and you are not there, am I doing that by myself?
Absolutely not.
All right.
There will be somebody else there to assist you. I guarantee. Jose Ambrosio down the sideline. Looking for the opportunity just to the right of the goal. Ran out of
space.
Ran out of space. Ran out of real estate, as we like to say. And it'll be a goal kick.
You know, I mean, this is beautiful weather out here. It's a beautiful night.
Beautiful night. I'd have to agree with you very much. Beautiful night. Throw in for Bloomington. Dan Lakiko chases it down. Seydu kicks it out of bounds. Throw in for Bloomington. As Coach Blackman retreats. We possibly scared him off. I hope not. Missed opportunity there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still great to see him come back.
Of course.
Which, I mean, I even caught him. I go and watch State every year, cheer on my teammates. I see him there every year. I've seen him at a couple meets. You know, obviously, like I said, we record our matches, and I will send them from Coach Tabaris's iPad to my phone. and Blackman he'll help me go through them.
That's great. As MJ hustles down to retrieve the ball, and he makes a good effort as his hustle rewards Urbana with the possession. Down here in this territory. Opportunities cannot be wasted at this point.
I mean, this really is make or break time for the Tigers as far as taking home this win. I mean, I know in most sports that sounds crazy. I mean, you got 20 minutes, you're down by 2 points, but with
this
soccer,
is trouble.
Oh.
Antonio just gets his hands in there to save it. And we have an injured player down here. That looks to be Sam Ross. Probably looks like he caught a cramp. And I know how that feels. He looks like he has caught a cramp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's Tashiro Wilson.
That is Tashiro Wilson. Thank you, Michael.
Oh, no, that looks worse than a cramp.
I'm speculating.
Hopefully he's all right.
Hopefully he's all right. I'm speculating cramp. It could be worse. Hopefully not. But he's in some pain, and he's being helped off the field by Jose Ambrosio. Of course, cramps could play critical here. I mean, soccer is one of those sports, constant motion. Hydration is always key. If you don't get the necessary hydration.
Definitely. I can't tell you. I believe it was 3 or 4 times against Danville. Michael Mboyo, probably our best corner, had to come out of the game because he's just catching a cramp.
And that's unfortunate. Just like when LeBron kept getting cramps down in San Antonio.
That wasn't as unfortunate.
Just making an analogy there, Michael.
I know.
You pulled one off in the first half. Pulling off my NBA analogy in the second half.
Hey, I respect it. I was more so happy to see him lose.
Through ball to Jose Ambrosio. Down the sideline. Pass through to Miguel Limas. Controlled and lost. Kicked out by Bloomington, and it'll be a corner.
Do they not realize there's a ball behind their net?
Oh, the ball boy will go get it.
Oh, okay.
That is their job.
I was a little confused. I was like, I didn't realize that it was a corner kick at first, so I was like, don't they realize there's a ball behind the net? As the ref stops play for some reason.
So we're awaiting a corner. Michael John will take it.
As time resumes.
And the corner is into the box. Seydu with the goal.
All right. Now, what the Tigers need here, they need to get back on defense and definitely generate more offense.
Seydu with the goal. A big goal.
That's
great corner placement by Michael John and a great header in by Seydu. Right in front of the goal. Perfect placement. Perfect execution. Straight out of the World Cup right there.
Just
3-2 Bloomington. Urbana cuts the lead again. Now, that third goal for Bloomington was so critical. So if they would not have scored, it would be a tie game right now.
Now, the Tigers definitely need to get back on defense right here.
Got to clamp up right here. 19 minutes to go. Tigers with some momentum, and it's out of bounds. Back to the Tigers, and that was a beautiful corner kick right there. Beautiful job by Michael John.
Definitely. Anytime the ball's in Bloomington's possession, they gotta lock them up. You know, gotta play some good defense, like my buddy Miller here. Great defender.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. Even though I led the team in fouls last year, I always accept the compliments of great defense.
Hey, better than James Harden.
You're pulling out another NBA analogy, Michael. I can't handle it. James Harden. And Jose hustles for the ball, and he'll take control. There's space. Miguel Limas down the middle. And he loses control. Good effort by Bloomington to get back. That could have been a golden opportunity.
That was just great hustle by both teams.
Great hustle by both teams. A nice touch pass by Jose, but good hustle by Bloomington to get back and break that up. It'll go to Roman. Back to Michael John. Back to Miguel Limas. to Roman. And an opportunity right here for Jonathan Delarue. And the shot goes over the goal. A golden opportunity right there for Jonathan. Shot just goes over the goal. And he's wishing he had that one back.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that play developed a little late. I mean,
oh, yeah.
he had to. I was not expecting him to get the ball, nonetheless get that much of an open look.
Oh, definitely.
That came out of nowhere. That could have been huge. Goal kick for Bloomington.
Which, I mean,
things are intensifying out on Roman.
I'll be honest. I saw him hit it through the uprights, and my football mindset kicked in.
Field goal is good.
Oh, yeah.
Bloomington will take the throw-in. Urbana knows they need a sense of urgency right now. They're down one.
And, I mean, you can tell by just their body language, they want it. They want to get this ball back. They want to score, and they want to do what it takes to win this game.
Got to play for the draw right here. I mean, winning is going to be pretty hard to score 2 goals in 16 minutes. But the draw is definitely possible, and that's what they want to aim for. You can hear the Urbana faithful griping a little bit and understand their complaints, but it's 3-2. I mean,
got to stay positive.
Yeah, encourage your team. I know the pressure's tense, but this is when the team needs the most encouragement.
Oh, definitely.
As we just under 16 minutes to go here in the second half. Bloomington 3, Urbana 2 in a tight contest at McKinley Field. Blackman Field, for crying out loud.
It's all right, Miller.
As Urbana just scored a couple of minutes ago, Seydoux with a goal. Jose Ambrosio with a penalty kick goal. And then for Bloomington, I know one goal was scored by Andres Mayo, Murdy Ilonga. And not sure who the third goal was scored by, but doesn't matter. They have 3 goals. As Murdy Ilonga tips it over the head of Seydoux, but picked up by Antonio Rodriguez. Good play by the goalie. As he'll punt it away down to the left sideline. Tigers regain possession.
I believe our
cross across the field, just out of the reach of Miguel.
One of our broadcast partners, I believe, Dylan Patel, he was a soccer player at one point, I believe.
Indeed he was. His freshman and sophomore year, he played soccer. Did not play his junior year, did not play his senior year due to injury.
That's sad. That's always sad to hear.
But he turned to tennis, and he's made a name for himself.
He's actually tried to convince me to join the tennis team for my senior year.
He's convinced about everybody to join the tennis team. Don't know why. And, you know, when I told him we've never done a tennis broadcast, he was a little hurt.
Yeah,
we've never made it out to Blair Park, and, you know, that would be very difficult. A tennis match would be pretty difficult. Soccer is hard enough. Tennis would be very hard.
I feel like the easiest one for you guys would probably have to be wrestling, even though you don't do it very often, because you just got to point at the mat. There's not much else to do.
The easiest sport to commentate, in my opinion, is basketball. Possibly baseball. Probably baseball because there's not as much action every play. Football is especially hard because the numbers thing.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get the numbers, and most of the time, you know, you got the players' names wrong, and that's extremely difficult.
I just appreciate that since I know you've never messed up my name or number. You've always known my name and number.
Pass to Roman. Roman misses it. A good idea by Jose, but Roman just out of the reach of Roman. With 13 minutes to go, Bloomington will take the goal kick.
And it looks like nope.
Urbana's being a bit cautious here, as they don't know nobody knows who to take it. Someone's just got to step up and kick the ball.
I mean, they gotta put their foot down and be aggressive. This is really the time, you know. This in any sport, when you're facing this adversity, this is the time where you show everyone what you're made of. Are you going to crumble, or are you going to rise to the occasion?
Exactly. And offside. It'll go back the other way. Still 3-2 Bloomington. As the minutes count down, pressure is intensifying. It's getting more hype.
Especially if you're Urbana. I mean, right now you've got to have a lot of nerves in you right now.
Although I will say there's more nerves when you're trying to sustain a lead per se than trying to come back. Come back, you got nothing to lose except the game.
Which, I mean,
trying to sustain a lead, you're already winning, so you don't want to mess up
right.
to cost your team the lead.
Speaking from experience, I mean, I can't tell you last year against Peoria Emmanuel. I mean, obviously we all know how that turned out.
I mean, the result of the game, yes, we all do know.
42-6 was the final.
We're not talking about that aspect.
Well,
but
yeah, but I mean,
anyway,
just going into the locker room, you could tell. I mean, how nervous everybody was, especially after what had happened with Central. You know, we were up 26-6, and I don't think a word was said in that locker room. We all were just kind of quiet, and you know, I looked over at one of our seniors, Jake Luffman, and I told him I do what I can to make sure he left his last high school game with a win, and he thankfully did. It always bothered me that we didn't get those last 4 minutes in. There were a couple seniors who couldn't realistically play because they were hurt, but the kneel down would have been their opportunity to get some playing time.
Memphis controls the ball. As my feelings are well rehearsed on the brawl.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch the broadcast at any point and know my feelings.
I've went back and watched it a couple times, and I mean, you were very adamant about that was classless on Manuel's part.
Nice move by Jose Ambrosio, the dribbling. Sam Ross touched pass to Roman Miniev across the field to Jose de la Cruz. And kicked out of bounds by Bloomington. Or maybe not.
Oh.
Almost saved by Murdy Ilonga.
And as we're winding down to about 10 minutes, it's looking a little bleak.
People are really stepping it up, though. The pace has increased.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like in any sport. It seems like in the last 2 minutes, especially in a close game, that's really when it picks up.
Everyone gives their all. Ilonga, pass into the box. Right to Seydu. And kicked back out. Deflected. Over to Michael John. Back to Urbana. Roman controls. Touch too hard, out of bounds. Back to Bloomington. As Dan Lakiko trying to fire up the squad. 9 minutes to go, he says. Time to go. And he is right. There is 9 minutes to go. It's time to get it going.
Oh,
time to score that goal. Get a draw. He's calling out for pressure. Seems like Dan Lakiko is one of the more vocal leaders on this team.
Oh, definitely. And
I've heard him speak the most and the loudest out of anybody on this.
And definitely, every team needs that vocal leader and that emotional leader. You know, you've got great guys like LaDainian Tomlinson in football. Wasn't a very vocal guy. Great leader, though. But then you also have a guy like Ray Lewis. That guy could fire anybody up.
As everybody's Bominos down the field. Everybody's running down the field. Ready to go, trying to get this goal. 8 minutes to go. Lakiko into the box. Kicked, Seydu.
Oh.
And almost an opportunity. A missed opportunity by the Tigers. Seydu couldn't quite get it with his header. And
I mean, definitely, there's been a lot of missed opportunities tonight for the Tigers, but right now is the time to forget about all that. It's the time to make good on those opportunities.
Fernando Down to Roman. Roman with the shot. The goal! 3-3. Roman Miniev from Fernando. And it's 3-3. Roman with the strike, the equalizer.
Great.
3-3. 7:41 left to go, and this last 7 minutes is gonna be epic, Michael Monreal.
Oh, you are right, Miller Calhoun.
Roman Miniev with the equalizer.
Let's
Big
lock
shot.
him up on D, and then let's go for this game winner.
Let's get it. Big shot by a big-time player, leading goal scorer for the Tigers, and he proved it right there.
Let's get it.
Had a rather quiet game up until that point. Nice pass by Fernando, and a nice goal by Roman Miniev into the left corner, and we are tied at 3.
Come on, guys.
Urbana has the momentum. Memphis down into the middle to Ivan. Back into the middle, controlled by Miguel Limas.
I mean, you can see on Bloomington's side they're getting frustrated. You could hear their goalie screaming, "Don't fall apart, don't fall apart." Which that is
down 2-0, now it's 3-3.
right. That's
Gotta
be
feel a little frustrating.
Oh yeah.
Urbana has stolen the momentum. The last 7 minutes is gonna be interesting.
So I'm curious, are they going to PKs after this, or would it just be a draw?
I think it's just gonna be a draw, but hopefully we get a goal so that we won't have to answer that question. Miguel Limas controls it, signaling to his players. Back down to Roman, the nice through ball. Roman switches directions, down, shot, deflected to his brother Ivan. Back to Roman.
Out of bounds.
Stumbling. Not quite ready for the pass, and it goes out of bounds. Roman looking fatigued and exhausted. He's played the whole game. He has not come out.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's in any sport that's exhausting.
Roman, hands on his knees, is exhausted, but he's going to need to give everything he's got for the last 6 minutes as Bloomington kicks it out. Referee stops play.
I mean, you can see the eagerness from Urbana. Just Miguel right there just screaming, that's our ball, that's our ball, and, trying to immediately get it thrown in.
Back to Roman.
They want that score.
Roman takes it, touch a little too hard, back to Bloomington. Kicks back over. Jesus de la Cruz, header. Miguel Limas with a shot.
Oh, that was
just to the right.
Woo.
A booming kick just to the right of the goal, and it'll be a goal kick for Bloomington. 5:28 left to go. And I will point out that players are so eager to get that ball back in because there's no extra time. In professional soccer, there's extra time added on for, subs and all that. There's no extra time here, so they've got to hustle. Murdy Ilonga takes the ball, streaking down the sideline, and it'll be tapped out by Urbana. Goal kick for Bloomington. This could be a key play in the game right here. Urbana needs to stop. Cannot give up a goal this late in the game. Everybody on the bench is standing.
Down under 5 minutes. I mean, this is
waiting in anticipation for what could happen in this next 4:36.
Oh yeah, I mean, just the anxiety of all this. It's difficult to deal with.
Again, if you're just tuning in, Urbana has tied the score at 3. Kick into the box, Bloomington. Jose Ambrosio hustling for the ball. He'll win the ball back out. There goes Ivan, streaking down the sideline.
Out of bounds.
And Bloomington kicks it out of bounds for some reason. Don't know why. Great hustle by the Tigers as they really want this game, and that's evident. Miguel Limas controlling the ball down the sideline, fighting for it. Kick it back into the box. Ivan. Crucial play and a handball called. That's unfortunate. A nice pass by Miguel into the box. Not to be as a handball is called. Bloomington will get a free kick. Pressure rising at its highest all game. Fernando. Good save by,
Oh, just out.
Great hustle by Jose, but just out as signaled by the referee.
I mean, you got to love that. That's heart right there.
That's great hustle by Jose. He's been putting it out on the line all night. Lakiko. Keep playing. No whistle called. Yvonne with the ball. Back over to Miguel. Miguel down the right sideline. Slide tackle by number 14. Kicked out of bounds. Slide tackle by number 14, Simon Fields, the defender. And a yellow card has been given to Miguel Limas on the foul. Goal kick for Bloomington. 2:59 to go. 3-3 is our score.
And Michael John comes back into the game.
Michael John re-enters.
Coming in for Miguel Limas.
Miguel, who will take a seat after the yellow card. He's played his heart out tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks like he might be re-entering. More subs for Urbana.
Oh, and with under 3 minutes left, I mean, this is really the time we're going to see what this Tigers team has in them.
And here we go. Jose, the header. Back to Yvonne. Yvonne, only a freshman. Playing quality varsity minutes here. Jose wins the ball, back to Bloomington. Michael John fighting for the ball. Lakiko controls the ball. To Jose. Roman telling his teammates to stay calm. All the way over to the other corner to Jonathan Delarue. He wins the ball, streaking down the left sideline. Touch pass to Michael John. Looking to get it back in the middle. And he can do that unsuccessfully as it'll be out of bounds. Goal kick for Bloomington.
And we're down to about 2 minutes left. I mean, this is
crunch time.
Oh, yeah.
2-minute warning coming up.
Definitely got that anxiety out there for the players.
I'm getting nervous up here.
Oh, yeah.
Fans have been standing on their feet since the 6-minute mark. Limas down the left sideline. Kick into the box. And the goalie stops it on his knees. Miguel's taken about three of those shots from 20-plus yards out. He's 0 for 3. But they've all been on target.
Oh, yeah. Great
Seydoux
kicks,
misses it. Controls it. Getting held. Wins it. To Miguel. This is a good opportunity. 3-on-4. Urbana. Delarue down the left sideline. Back to Delarue. Back to Roman. Roman. Back to the middle, deflected out by Bloomington. 1 minute left. Back to Miguel Limas. This could be the Tigers' last shot. This possession.
And he tripped him.
And a foul. Foul. Everybody's got to run into the box. 45 seconds to go. Kick will be taken by
Memphis. It's looking like Memphis
Fernando.
Wilson. Oh.
Fernando will take the free kick. Everybody's loading up in the box.
37
Tigers in the box.
Seconds left.
30 seconds to go.
Let's go.
Fernando into the box. And it's deflected out by Bloomington, kicked all the way back down the field. And it's a race. 20 seconds to go. Antonio, back to Antonio, the goalkeeper. Booted back down the field. Looks like there's going to run out of time. There's 10 seconds to go. There's a scum at midfield. Bloomington coming away with it. One last shot off the face of Fernando. And that will be the game.
That'll do it.
That will do it. A great match, a great soccer game.
Frustration on the Bloomington side as number 9 throws a shin guard.
Bloomington probably expecting a win. Great fight by Urbana to get back into it. Proud of their heart and their hustle. This game will end in a 3-3 draw, as that'll move to Urbana to 4-2-1 on the season. Bloomington to 3-4-2. Coveted conference wins don't come often, and Bloomington's got to feel like they blew a golden opportunity to up 2-0. Urbana cuts the lead to 2-1. Bloomington scores again to go up 3-1. Urbana scores 2 consecutive goals to tie the game. And that is where we will end it tonight. Michael, final thoughts on the game tonight?
All around it was a pretty good game. Would have loved to see Urbana come out with the win, but they showed a lot of heart out there. A lot of them playing big minutes, not getting very much rest, and just fighting back.
That's good to see. That's what you want to see every game in, and that's why this soccer team is so consistent. Sure, they probably aren't thrilled with the results, but it's better than a loss. Again, the Tigers 3, Bloomington 3. The game ends in a draw. From a great soccer night here at Blackman Field. For the 4th time I've messed that up. Blackman Field, great night to have soccer. Again, a 3-3 draw. I'm Miller Calhoun, joined by Michael Monreal, producer Jason Liggett, and this has been Urbana Soccer on Urbana Public Television. See you for our next broadcast. Volleyball on the 27th.